Today is February the 6th, 2023. This is Carmen bringing you your daily Bloodborne Remaster update. And there's no news on a Bloodborne Remaster today, but I'm actually going to take a second to rant for a little bit, okay? So, obviously this whole Activision Microsoft thing is still going on. And people are saying this should not be blocked so Microsoft can compete. Now, I want to just have a simple quote-unquote conversation, but it's one-sided because only I'm here right now. So let's look at Sony's market cap, okay? I believe it's right around $90 billion. If you take the combined total of the Bethesda buyout and the Activision buyout, you have, I think, maybe more or just a shade under Sony's market cap. You factor in all the other purchases they've made, like Ninja Theory and such, and a bunch of indie devs, and you have Xbox spending more than Sony's market cap to quote-unquote compete. And this is all in the name of Xbox can't succeed because of Sony's oppressive regime or whatever. Like, let's not get it twisted here. Why is Xbox in the situation that it's in? Because it pushed so hard on Kinect. Because the Xbox One flopped entirely. Because they have no confidence in their first-party titles. These are the reasons why Xbox has flopped. You know? And I see people all the time saying, why is Xbox buying Activision any different than Sony paying for exclusivity on all the Final Fantasies or anything from Capcom? Like, what is the difference? And here is the very simple difference. There is nothing stopping Microsoft from going straight to CD Projekt Red and saying, we want full console exclusivity on all 4 new Witcher games. There is nothing stopping this. The Witcher 1 and 2 are exclusive to Microsoft platforms to this day. The Witcher 3 was the only one to get away from it and be on other things. 1 and 2 are the only things on Microsoft platforms to this day, right? There is nothing stopping Microsoft from going to them and paying for console exclusivity the same way Sony has done with Final Fantasy. And that's the thing. You know why Xbox is in the situation it's in? Because of poor management. This has nothing to do with Sony and Nintendo being so oppressive. No. Not at all. This is the way Xbox has always operated. They try to buy themselves out of a situation. What did they do when they got into the console market way back in the day? They tried to buy Nintendo. They tried to buy them and they didn't. They couldn't. Right? What did they do? They bought Rare, ruined it, right? You know, Halo is still... I put Halo up there as one of the most iconic things ever. What is Halo at now? Halo Infinite. Something that is constantly, non-stop, dragged through the mud, rightfully so. Even if it's better now, the state that game was in for the first year and a half is shameful for Xbox's biggest IP. You look at Xbox. What are they really riding on now? People say, oh, Doom, Starfield, Fallout, all of these games. How many of those games that Xbox make? Approximately 0. Right? Approximately 0. They bought these titles. Right? You look at Sony. What do they have that people really love? Of course, there's Final Fantasy, but that's third-party exclusive. What do they have? They have Uncharted. They have The Last of Us. They have the Spider-Man, these new Spider-Man games. Granted, they didn't make the IP, but you get it. They have God of War. They have Horizon, Ghost of Tsushima. They have all of these things that they made. They made those games. And that's the real thing that you have right now. You have Xbox, who is trying to buy their way to success. And you compare it with those two that just didn't do it that way. Nintendo has made all of their own stuff forever, right? Xbox is trying to buy their way in. And if a company this massive really badly needs to spend $100 billion to fairly compete just because they can spend more than the rest of the competitors, then this is not a failure on Sony and Nintendo's part. This is a failure on Microsoft's part. That you cannot compete even decently well in this field, right? In this entire field, you can't compete well enough to avoid having to spend almost your competitor's entire market cap on one purchase. That's enough for the rant. I just want to get that out because I keep seeing this constantly on my Twitter and it annoys me, okay? That is my full thoughts. Should this go through? I don't think so because it's stupid, right? Xbox should be able to make it on their own. Let them keep Bethesda, whatever. This Activision thing is nonsense. I don't even buy Activision games, so it doesn't affect me if if it goes to Xbox, but I'm saying it should not go through, because if Xbox can't succeed on its own merits, why should it be allowed to buy everything else that does succeed, right? That's my thing. But anyways, that's enough of the ranting. This has gone on long enough. There is no news on Bloodborne today. Sorry for that. That's been your daily Bloodborne Remaster update for February the 6th, 2023.